Oh, hi, it's PanAnning, welcoming you to badly dubbed theater. we bring,
Basically.
we're,
So we finished the first investigation of case 2
yeah, it was
for
very
the
long.
first trial,
Yep, now we are into the first trial. Jeez, Jesus Christ.
and we're about to be introduced to a new character.
Oh yeah. That,
What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean
no, I heard it's a successor this time.
successor?
She has a lot of suck, that's for sure.
Manfred Von Karma. He was a really sinister man. He pulled on sort of nasty tricks, also he could win.
He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years.
Sup, bitches?
Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those
You
guilty
like
verdicts.
my smug face there?
Oh, Jesus Christ. And now his successor. I wonder what kind of person they'll turn out to be.
It's no good.
Hey, Pearls.
Maya! Early! You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worrying about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't she go to come together? Mother is watching over the trees. She said they have trainings for 2 days straight with no breaks. You came all by yourself? Yep, I slipped out of the manor and followed him up.
Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not. I ran.
I can't. Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train, oh man.
Really? What about the train? What's the train?
I give up.
It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. I thought Karma tries to do something to me. At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Karma.
Oh.
Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. As if I had just seen him on the internet.
Objection. Ooh, slow down.
Well, until the very end, and we're experiencing lag. It was always back and forth with those two, but then they're rivals for life.
Maya. Please don't mention that name ever again.
Huh? Why, Nick?
I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone, and he's not coming back.
What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean?
Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway.
Nick? Oh boy, the hype.
Hype! Hype! Oh, jeez. No, that stupid hype crap. Alright. The court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and defense prepared? What is with this girl? Mr. Wright, are you finally prepared? Huh? Yeah, yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me?
Mr. Phoenix, Wright.
Hmm?
You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct?
Hold on. So this kid is the famed prosecutor Von Karma?
I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge.
Revenge. Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? Is if it's something of the personal nature, I'm sure you could. Ow!
I'm talking. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me.
Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Yow!
Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix, Wright?
No, Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please.
Those of Von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch.
But very well. What is the defense position? Your Honor? Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes.
Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time.
Justified self-defense? A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of himself. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but the defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because the plea justifies self-defense is just to say that you did kill someone. Bows.
How foolish. If that's all you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix, right? Then I shall now call the first witness.
She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Ah, I'm back.
Witness, your name and occupation?
Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I am a detective at the local precinct.
Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. Here's the map. The channeling chamber has.
Where do you wish to go?
The channeling chamber has no windows, and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim, the defendant, were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? And look at disbelief on the judge's faces. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from the inside the room, sir. I mean, shooting from inside. A few witnesses broke a door down and rushed into the room. Ah, and that's why they found that the victim was already dead, correct? There was a lot of virgin blood on the floor, sir. I believe
Please.
I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over. Floor plans added to the court. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that.
Stop wasting my time, then.
Witness testimony. Oh boy. Cause of death. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot into the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used a pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Autopsy report added to the court rec. The corpse accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. The cause of death. We're gonna have to press everything. Jesus Christ. For frickin' details. The murder weapon. Detective Gumshoe? Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have...
Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you're missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start.
Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant, Maya Faye's, were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. I walked right into her hands there. Just, hold it. Hold it. Point blank, huh? So how far away was it? How about how away? It was, anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. I'm talking about the gunshot, not, you know. How do you...
Oh, bye, please.
So how do you know that he was shot at point blank?
Mr. Phoenix Wright. I grew tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country.
This country is foolish. Excuse me?
Gunpowder burn.
Gunpowder burn?
When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on that victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Live and learn. Sonic Adventure 2 is a really good game. Stabbed? And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? Looks like it belongs to the Fays, sir. And of course, Maya Faye's fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good.
What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Bitch. How severe was the wound? If it had been a half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes Maya look like she had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Let's hold it. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep. Sure can be. Well, look at the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal.
A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinion of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? Think a little more before you open the big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. Brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well. The court accepts into the evidence. The pistol and the knife.
The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time.
And the two murder weapons were both the defendant's fingerprints on them? This doesn't seem like an open and shut case.
Naturally.
This is going from bad to worse. So the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme.
Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there?
That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes. Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It is the opinion of this court that you do not adjust your plea. You stand to lose.
See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix, right? You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes.
What will you do, Mr. Wright? Would you change to justified self-defense because now would be the time to do so? This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. Please sell justified self-defense.
I think you can't anyways.
Plead not guilty. If we plead justified self-defense, we would be basically just be confessing to a murder. After the trial, Maya's life will be destroyed, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, having reached the conclusion, Mr. Wright, the defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. Ow.
You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix, right? Detective!
Yes, sir.
Present the final portion of your testimony, the final strike.
Yes, sir. Now, see here, proceedings are run by... Oh, yes, of course. Go right ahead, and detective, give your testimony.
I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence.
Oh boy. This is so not looking good. Incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. There is certainly evidence of a back spray of blood on this, virgin blood.
Ignoring Opai's comments, if you observed the piece of evidence while it was shown, the contradiction can be easily seen. But I'll leave it at that for now.
Yeah, the scent. Yep.
Oh.
This is definitely virgin blood. This piece
Bye.
directly links FMIFA to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Alright, Mr. Wright. My fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse?
What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix, right?
Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing, yet strangely satisfying for my loins. But anyways. No.
Honestly, I think you only need to present something here.
What kind of blood are we talking about here?
Opai, please.
This blood in the costume. Is it Maya's? Lab results show that it was the victim's blood. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like a circumcision? So there was blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. Were there any other clues you can glean from this piece of evidence? Well...
If you want to change the topic, And the good detective here must testify again. But too bad. Not enough time. Time to move on.
Oh, yes, Miss Von Carmen is perfectly correct. Not even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more if I can chew here, what should I do? Press further? Or be like Elsa and let it go?
God damn it, Opie.
Why is Mrs. Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out the objection like that. There must be a clue somewhere on this costume. I just have to
see it. Can you see it?
I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Miss Von Carmen's logic is perfect. There was no way for you to poke a hole in it, quote unquote. Ugh, looks more like time's up.
Hint.
So, about the costume. Slam. Your Honor, actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? What is your problem you're talking about? I've come this far, there's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. This here. Can't be virgin blood right here.
Opie, please. Our contradiction is obvious.
Slam. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. Hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's that around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Nobody ever told me. The hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. The hole. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make that it must be a hole. A hole. Hold on. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Maya's costume has been updated in the court record. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding?
Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds.
I beg to differ.
Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke. Nothing more.
Objection. Slam. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. What an egregious into this mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karmen has said it is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find more definite problem with the evidence, then... No way! Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir.
And now we present, I'm pretty sure.
Ah.
Actually, yeah, I think you present here.
Let me press something here. Slam. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? Well, we couldn't find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around the murder changed drastically. UGH. We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. Von Karma.
You do.
She thinks that she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone, but I have to somehow find a critical contradiction, and then I'll have her for breakfast and lunch and dinner. The costume, pretty much.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Objection. Point. Slam. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling, you know, in my pants. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back? Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is this bullet hole your police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Slam. Is this what it means to not fight back? And you're right! It would seem that way. If that victim had to try the defendant, then that would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. What is that? Are you finished yet, Lab?
Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Miss Montgomery.
It seems that my JFA was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense.
That is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
No, none of you. Wait, that's right. Ow. Fuck.
Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all.
No! Well, yes, that's true.
Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense.
Huh? How so? Ah!
Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course.
Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put it together, the scenario all by myself? Ow! Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Oh man.
What transpired? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used his last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Pew 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 pew! Stuck it into her. And a lot of blood, you know. The victim took the shot, but they were too close. He missed. And it sprayed over the floor.
I already see a problem with this, by the way.
The defendant picked up on an
not
opening.
just Opai's comment.
And he took the victim's gun and ended it. Bam! And it was all over. The scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, just by listening, it does make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. Ugh. What transpired? Fuck. Hold it.
Don't think you need to press everything.
There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. And then add in the body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? My JFA was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the current channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor.
I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Korean channeling technique.
Like I said before, I am perfect.
About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. Better safe than sorry, Judge. You could get whipped. The victim took out his gun and just sprayed it all over her. Where in the world did that pistol come from? Looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically brought it for that day. But a handgun? You got it off a black market about 2 days ago before the murder. Why didn't Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something?
I have to wonder actually if he had that gun when he went to Phoenix the first time.
He said, "You better take my case or I'll shoot you." So, you're saying that the bullet hole in the costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but that's not what I think. But that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt.
By the way, hint, there was a contradiction.
He missed. Yeah, he did miss. Obviously, he did not miss. Slam. Missing the tiny hole in this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said that the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. Slam. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume.
Aha!
That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other.
I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away.
Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking.
Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. What was that?
He fired. Objection. As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would have not had the strength to push the defendant very far after that.
Well, then... That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took a shot. There, that should satisfy even you.
That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Something doesn't make sense. Slam. There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? Yo!
Very interesting. I would love to see what this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation.
There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts his line of thinking. Remember, there is a hole here.
Uh-huh.
This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. Oops, I hit that wrong button. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point out the court's attention to the whole story in this folding screen. It looks like you've already know what I'm talking about. Who? What? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, and then the folding screen. It passed through at the height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means, Slam, when the shot was fired, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order! This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. When the victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location, about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Right here?
About that,
Yeah.
I think.
She was standing here, near the folding screen.
Oh, wait, that's not good apparently. Or
Yeah, it's
took
good.
a while to actually take a...
Oh, wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can we gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim?
That's impossible.
But why?
You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume.
Curse you, Phoenix Wright! You...
I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? It changes everything. Slam. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, Slam, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oh, oof. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the blast radius of disaster.
You're such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix, right? Good thing that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me.
Ugh. Of all the things doing hurt, why did it have to be that smarmy smile?
Detective! How dare you damage my perfect logic?
How is it all my fault?
You can start repairing your standing by first removing that tree-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured, your punishment will come later.
Punishment?
Well done, Your Honor. I think I had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness.
Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Anyway, the court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness.
It's break time!
Yay! Break time! Son of a bitch. Alright. That was the first session of this trial. Second session of this trial will continue next time on Let's Badly Dub This Game. See you guys then.
Hooray!